You're listening to Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official podcast of Lingerie Fighting Championships. And now, here's your host, Michael Larkin.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today, I am very excited to have her on the show. If you've not checked out her work from LFC 28 Sindependence Day and LFC 29 on Hot Midsummer Night's Dream against Jolene, Hexx, and Lauren the Animal Fogle, the one, the only Miss Gypsy, Top Shelf Bay. Gypsy, it's a pleasure on the show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here today. I'm doing good.
It's an absolute pleasure. First and foremost, I will say this. LFC is about creating moments and memories, and I got to say, both of your respective bouts that we're going to get into, hell of a time, hell of a lot of fun, and you really entertained.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Now, I got to say, first and foremost, if you've not checked out Gypsy and on the adult side of things, I figure we touch upon this because I've seen your work. I always look at everything as an art form, and you certainly apply your craft in amazing fashion. Talk about what kind of – you're very welcome. Talk about what gravitated you towards the adult entertainment industry.
I started when I was about 19 years old, and I started with a website called topshelfbay.com. And then I moved on to stripping, and I worked at Diamond Cabaret in Las Vegas. And then I started doing porn at 20 years old. I first shot for Naughty America.
And I always look at it like this. First and foremost, the transitions here from stripping and the websites and camming and everything, I always look at it from the stance of modeling and as well as the adult entertainment industry, the confidence, the elegance, the also empowerment. It really does show the internal and external beauty, but also at the same time, too, it does shows a level of elegance and class and discipline that goes into your work. There's a lot of layers and levels that people really don't even realize when getting into it.
Yeah, there was a lot of discipline, especially with the Lingerie Fighting Championships.
I got to say, first and foremost, when we get into LFC, you look at Lingerie Fighting Championships, it's a little bit of MMA, it's a little bit of wrestling, it's a little bit of clothing, really showcasing that sensuality and overall badassery, as I always like to include it as. For you, talk about getting involved in that, because that's really awesome to see. You get to show your sexy side and your tough side, because my God, you came right out of the gate with those kicks. I was very impressed.
I worked out for a little bit, and I just gathered the strength I could to fight two of their best fighters.
And I look at it from a stance like this as well. When you get into lingerie, and I got to say, let's point out the fact that these amazing lingeries that you had the nice little bodysuit, you had the nice little lingerie, very cutesy, but also at the same time, very badassery. Talk about that, because those aesthetics really worked with you, Gypsy.
Thank you. Yeah, I love wearing the one for, I think it was Jolene. I wore the cherry outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wore the rainbow bodysuit for Lauren Fogle, and that was fun. That was pretty sparkly.
I look at it from a stance like this. I think going into LFC 28, where you had Jolene the Valkyrie Hexx, now I believe originally you were supposed to face Shea Golden, and Jolene was the replacement. And Jolene comes out of the crowd. She's in the disguise, and then you two have this badass bout where you get some shots in, but then she takes you down at the end. I think it was a nice contrast, and for the moment in time that you had there, I think you really lived up to it for what you did. I got to say, that was a very fun bout to check back.
It was fun, and I know that's like their best fighter, so.
What does it feel like knowing that your opponent was too scared to even show up here tonight?
Extremely disappointed, honestly. I'm really excited to fight, and I wish she was here. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Well, okay, so there is actually a little-known rule in the LFC rule book that says, if your opponent doesn't show up for a scheduled bout, then you can challenge anybody you like. Yeah, I mean, including anybody in the crowd, actually. Which, I mean, you're welcome to exercise that rule if you like. Does anybody feel like stepping in the ring tonight?
No, that kick to the midsection.
Aggressive start there. Gypsy Bay now on the run.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you always have to make the most of your time. And I think you can concur with me on this. I always view it as you have with life. It's moments and memories created and moments and memories yet to be created. You always have to live in the moment.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. I definitely would do it again.
And then you get to LFC 29, and I mean, my goodness gracious, you're the opening bout with Lauren the Animal Fogle. You get that flying kick in, and then you get a nice little shots in. Very much better than what you did with Jolene, but then she gets you in that Boston Crab, that Walls of Jericho, probably one of the best, toughest doggone submissions in professional wrestling and in all of LFC. Talk about that, because you really got some more of your kicks and your strikes in on that. You were not holding back.
Here, Top Shelf Bay just running out right away. Probably a little frustrated after what happened last night.
I think so. Nice kicks to the midsection, staying active.
Big aggression early from Top Shelf. Oh, she takes a big kick to the body as well. He slips around to the back, got the takedown. Now she's on the back. Great positioning here for Gypsy Bay. She's punching away at the body. Now looking for the choke early on.
Wow, fishnet stocking that holds all that power in, but it's somehow barely doing it.
Quality material. Oh, is this the Boston Crab?
I did a lot better with Lauren than I did with Jolene, and some more practice was involved because it wasn't like random. You know what I mean? With Jolene, it was random. I thought I was going to go against Shay, but I got to practice and work harder to get into. I think we got into the second round. I tapped out. Yeah. So, and then I tapped out in Scorpion, like whatever you call it, Boston Crab.
Yes.
Scorpion.
Well, I look at it like this. I think with what you did, especially with that Boston Crab that you it made for a nice visual, but also at the same time too, it's all about being safe and spectacular, applying your craft in safe and spectacular fashion. And not only did you do just that, but I think for 2 nights as well, you gave us something to see. And definitely go back and check out LFC 20 and LFC 29. So many great moments that we are proud to have you as a part of, because you really did your thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope I come back someday. I'd have to train for it, but I'll try to come back.
I think you will, and I got to say, first and foremost, on the other side of things, there's a blessing going on here, because I believe recently you just had a kid. Congratulations as well. That's awesome.
I have these giant weren't this big before.
Well, I got to say, motherhood and just the overall blessing of a family, that's another blessing coming to this world. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, his name's Zeppelin. He's super cute.
First of all, Zeppelin, can we just put that to the forefront here, man? I'm going to guess the Led Zeppelin type of vibes here with the Zeppelin. I love that.
Cool.
No, I'm just saying, like, all right, you're taking me back, because my parents, like, the Led Zeppelin, the Doors, like, everything. I love those type of vibes too, man. You're really giving a great vibe of what pop culture and just rock music is on as a whole. I dig that.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy you like it.
No, you're very welcome, but that's what it is. And I think when you bring a child into this world, we mentioned the moments and memories, but that's beautiful things, man. And I really wish you and your family nothing but the best going forward. I'm looking forward to seeing where your journey takes you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And on the other part of the LFC side of things, I will say, if you guys have not checked out the LFC calendar, this bad ass over here, you and Tomigo the Temptress Tajima kind of have like a Mortal Kombat Kill Bill type of vibe to it in the LFC calendar. You want to talk about that? Because those photos came out great.
It did. I chose Beatrix Kiddo as and that was really my Halloween costume that year. So it was pretty cool. I got to use the costume twice, one for the calendar and one for Halloween time. And it's fun. It's always been one of my favorite movies. So.
Oh, and it shows. And I think when you talk about favorite movies, I think also the visual stands out well. But how awesome is it to see, like, everybody talks about cosplaying and just the overall visual of what you're trying to portray, that a lot of people can have the flavor and creative juices to. So that also really is a gravitational pull and very eye-popping for what you see for the imagery side of things.
It's fun. I still have it. I still have the magazine, or not the magazine, the calendar. Yeah, I still have it.
Nice. Okay. And I look at it from this as well. I think from seeing your work on the adult entertainment industry as well, I think you have probably had some of the best bouts and overall scenes when it comes to like the whole stepdad, stepdaughter type of vibes. I know you've done a lot of great work with Miss Tasia Lochran, who has also competed in LFC against Agatha Cannibal Carter. Like, talk about those scenes, because the synergy's there. You're having fun on camera, you're doing your thing, and you're creating a lot of moments and memories and art in itself. Talk about those, man, because they're very sexy and very sensual.
I love Tasia. I'm always excited to work with Tasia. I know she kicked ass in LFC. So if maybe one day me and her could fight, that'd be awesome.
I know it will definitely be a great bout from what we've seen in both of you as far as the adult side of things and on camera. It certainly definitely goes a long way with what you two do as well within your own respective lives. But I think of it like this, and I'm going to ask you, for someone who's done adult work and really continues to apply her craft, how awesome is it to see kind of the evolution and the revolution of the adult entertainment industry with OnlyFans, many vids, Fansly, loyal fans, and so many sites now coming to fruition? It's really become a great community.
It has been, and it's cool to have my mother by my side the whole time. Also, well.
And first of all, shout out to your mom as well, man, the great support system that you have. That really works, and it goes a lot to fruition of who you are and what you're about. But I always look at it like this, man. There's so many great things in this world, and there's so many things to really take in. I cannot wait to see not only what you're doing on your journey, like we mentioned, but what we get to see from everyone right now. Everybody's really working hard and grinding, especially the amazing ladies of LFC. So we're happy to have you a part of that journey, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I will say this, I love asking this question because there's so many ways of pearls of wisdom in this thing that we call life. What are some of your takeaways from being in the adult entertainment industry, creating that content? What are some of the takeaways that you learned from being in it?
I get to make something that lasts forever, that outlives me even. Like someday someone's going to be watching my art, my work that I've done, and I might be long gone, and who knows, at least I put something out there.
Oh, absolutely. And I say this with the utmost sincerity and respect to you. And I can say this from where you started to where you are now with your content. You have always had that, dare I say, the real deal sex appeal mixed with some cutie beauty vibes to it. It definitely does show up and show out within your work.
Thank you, Michael.
You're very welcome. But that's the thing too, man. And we mention it throughout this show, folks. Moments and memories created and a lot of great things that will outlive us both and just continue to apply your craft in amazing fashion. Couple final things before we close this thing out. You, my dear friend, are an absolute blast. And I'm glad we got to do this because you have been one of my favorites. And it's great to see your face.
Aw, it's good to find yours.
Oh, no, the feeling is mutual. I mean, we've talked about this for a long time, but the main thing is we're here now, and there's no better time like the present. And once more, I will say this for you, for those that want to get into the adult entertainment industry or even apply their craft in the world of lingerie fighting championships. You mentioned the takeaways from what you've learned, but what advice would you give to the people who are on the come up, really starting to get into the industry?
Go for it. Follow your dreams. If you want to fight, fight. If you want to look pretty while doing it, then so be it. This is a great place to start. Lingerie Fighting Championships definitely paved the way for beauty and fighting, and they'll continue to do that.
Beautiful and eloquently said. I like your style, man. And I will say this: after seeing you a couple years ago doing your thing, I got to watch out for the kick, y'all. I'm going to challenge it like Talladega Nights. You came at him like a spider monkey, and you had that tackle and fuel like you were Bobby Boucher up in that ring. I got to say, you do provide a hell of a kick. Let's put that to the forefront, man.
Yeah, I practiced a little bit on that. I used to be in Taekwondo growing up, so that was my martial arts background.
Okay, so now I'm curious. Okay, so see, first of all, now this all makes sense as we're bringing it together. How did the Taekwondo come into it? That's really awesome. We talked about discipline, but that's even more discipline and just the overall tone that goes into that. That's hard work right there.
I remember the oath is courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, abdominable spirit, sir, or ma'am, if you've had a teacher. I started when I was 6 years old, and I stopped when I was 12, and I made it all the way to brown belt. So I broke boards with my elbow, the bottom of my foot, and my palm.
Wow. Okay. First and foremost, that's awesome. And number two, my goodness gracious, if we ever see you back in LFC, we got to get some more of that into it. See, now you just blow my mind. I like that. That's great. That's really awesome. Okay. All right, now, Miss Badass, I feel you. But I will say this before we close this out. The kicking and the striking and the overall spice that is so nice, Miss Gypsy Top Shelf Bay. Where can we follow you on the social media fronts? The floor is yours, my friend.
Is it X now? So x.com/topshelfbay and Instagram.com/KylaKitten, KYLAKITT3N.
Alrighty, links will be in the description. And yes, I'm also kind of with you. I'm still trying to call it X, and I know it's been X for a while, folks, but it will always be Twitter. And I mean, just call it an X when you think of X, triple X. I get it. I completely understand.
Onlyfans.com/Pamela Morrison.
Pamela Morrison. Okay. Links will be in the description. And I got to say, whether you're Pamela Morrison, Kyla Kitten, or Gypsy Top Shelf Bay, there's a lot of great work from this human being right here, and definitely go out of your way and follow. And I have to ask, because it's such a great nickname and such a great name that you've had with LFC, can we talk about the Top Shelf name? Because I got to say, the nickname and everything that goes into it, how did that come into fruition? Because I love the Top Shelf part of it.
I was smoking a lot of weed. when I was like 19, 18 years old, and there's this song they say top shelf, smoke from that top shelf, and I was just like, I don't know, top shelf Bay, and I wanted to be Gypsy Bay, so that's how I came up with top shelf Bay.
Can I just say the other part of Gypsy, if you even look at the music side of things, one of the greatest songs ever, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, you'll see your Gypsy.
Yeah, true.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. It all comes together, and it certainly does come within the entire package, my friend. And if you want to follow LFC, folks, it's lfcfights.com, Lingerie Fighting Championships. Go out of your way and check out LFC 28 and 29 featuring Gypsy Top Shelf Bay against Jolene, Hexx, and Lauren the Animal Fogle, and so many fighters. And check out this fine podcast on the VIP section of the LFC website, as well as my YouTube, Mike Larkin 92. And before we close this out, Gypsy Bay, do you have any final words for your fans and the people that have been supporting you since day one?
Thank you for being here for me. I'll continue to do as much adult industry work as I can, and thank you for your support.
And we thank you as well for everything that you do, and I can't wait to have you back on for round 2. And folks, as I always say to end each and every one of these shows, life is an art form. We are all applying our crafts. Continue to apply your craft in amazing fashion, as like the show of the title of this show and my mindset. Beauty, strength, and dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Gypsy Top Shelf Bay, I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Mwah. Bye.